Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. We're looking here at AMC. Things in the past week for AMC were okay. I mean, when we look at the chart, there's not really too much to talk about because most of you guys know the chart doesn't matter too much. Of course, we can read a bit from the chart, we can get a bit of an idea of what is going on, but it's what's going on behind the scenes which is the most important news in my opinion. But you guys will know the chart does remain the same. Zoom out to the past 3 month or even better the 6 month and you will see this consolidation is remaining around the 40 mark. You'll see we've dipped down to the 30s at the lows in the past, up to the 50s at the high. Anywhere in that range is normal in my opinion, but yes, I do believe AMC is primed for another push, hopefully very soon. You will notice that we had this consolidation before we had our initial push, but that is a different topic. It's just a quick brief look at the charts. There are a few things I want to talk about with you guys because a lot has gone on in the past week. If it sounds like a good video, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe, but as always, remember, I am not a financial advisor. This is all my opinion, and my opinions are nothing but speculative, so do remember that. But now we're going to dive in, and I actually want to start off by looking at Ken Griffin and his latest revelations. Now, this story is known by most people, but just type in Ken Griffin and you'll see that there are many articles talking about him buying the Constitution. Simply put, he bought a copy of the Constitution for about $43 million, I believe it was. Now, one thing that I find interesting is if you have a look at what I've typed in, I've just typed in Ken Griffin. And look at how many articles we have straight away talking about the Constitution. And yeah, these go on for time and time. And if you go over to Twitter, it is for the most part the same thing. Which is a little bit funny because you guys will know, when it comes to Twitter especially, we've been having a lot of comments from people, constantly retweeting about Ken Griffin lying under oath, Ken Griffin and his firm shorting AMC, and that sort of stuff. Now this has immediately sent all of these tweets and messages to the back of the queue, as we have nothing but positive news about Ken Griffin. Now when it comes to actually what Ken Griffin did to buy this, he spent a lot of money and he actually outbid crypto investors, and there were thousands of investors which all joined together simply put, to buy this document, and we can see Ken Griffin spent $43.2 million to outbid all of those. Now when we zoom out to what Ken Griffin has actually done with this copy of the document, he hasn't put it in one of his many mansions, he's actually loaned it to a museum. Now first things first, that does point to me that he is doing this A, to look good. Of course, if he really wanted it for himself, he would display it in one of his mansions, but he's doing this in the public eye, in a museum, so it is good for his PR. But on top of that, because he outbid a group of investors, a lot of people are speculating that Ken did this only to troll, if you will, the investors that joined together. Now this could be related back to AMC, as he is kind of trolling the people who intended to troll him. And of course it is only a document, but it does kind of show a lot of the sentiment behind him. That is purely speculation, of course, but the fact that he has not displayed it for himself, and he did it, just outbidding those crypto investors, it does make you wonder what his motivation was. Now, another thing that's interesting is when we come over to Twitter, we have something talking about a bearish sentiment with AMC. Talk about how bearish sentiment went through on AMC today. This was published on the 20th, by the way. Talking about how $69 million worth of premium sold calls for the date over here were sold. Now you will see it's something to keep an eye out. But when you zoom into this, this may not be the case, because short sellers can of course manipulate data to work in their favour and to kind of trick us. Now we do have a quick article to read on it over here. You will see the memo contains a dozen pages with highly technical language, but here is a quick rundown. If short sellers are facing a squeeze because shares are hard to buy or scrutiny for holding an illegal short position, they can create an appearance of having closed their short position through using deceptive options trades. A hedge fund that shorts a stock can write options on the stock. Now these could be call options, you can see down here. This means that they are now short on the call options, and of course having sold the call options to somebody else, typically a market maker, and simultaneously buying shares against the call options. The shares bought back against the call options could be synthetic longs, meaning that they are not part of the original share float of the stock, as sold to the hedge fund by the market maker that takes the other side of the options trade. This works because if a market maker buys options from an option writer, the market maker has the legal privileges to do a version of naked shorting as part of their hedging function. This is necessary under the current rules, and we can see also the current system as well for market makers to protect themselves when facilitating options trades. As a result of the above transaction, the hedge fund that sold the short calls were able to buy synthetic long shares against those calls. So a synthetic share is one that of course has a long on the side and a short on the other side, but wasn't part of the original float. The synthetic long shares are the other side of the naked shorts, legally initiated by the market maker, so the market maker can hedge. The hedge fund that bought the shares can now report that they have bought back, quote unquote, their short position via buying long shares, except they actually haven't. The synthetic shares they bought back are now cancelled out against the short call positions they initiated by way of market makers hedging the call position they bought back from the hedge fund. So one thing that we can see from there, the data doesn't always tell the 100% truth. Like I said, this initially could have been seen as bad news, could have been interpreted in the wrong way, but when we look to this on a deeper level, it may not be as it seems. Now, one thing that we already know is that this is a good thing to our extent, in my opinion, because it shows us if they are following these strategies to try and trick us, does it not show that we are closer than ever, as the Twitter user does point out, because it shows we're seeing more and more tactics as time goes on, and now we're having these really deceptive tactics, trying to get people confused, trying to get people perhaps to think that the squeeze is not going to happen. Well, like I have said before, the data over here is looking good. We have more and more funds actually buying longs on this stock. We have institutions buying long and all that sort of stuff, and I do think that going forwards we are in a great position with AMC. Now, when the growth happens doesn't really matter, but as I have said before, we're uncovering more and more stuff as time goes on. I think this is just another piece of news that we have found, and I am very happy to share it with you guys on the channel. So I hope that you did find anything good in this video. If you did, of course, like I said, make sure to like it and subscribe. Thank you for watching through till the end, but let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you will be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes and you can see actual contributions from members down here, and again if you do join us it is completely free, link is down below, but if you do want to become a Patreon you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name, so your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching, see you soon.